purchasing organizations primarily exist for one simple yet compelling reason: to help businesses interested in buying comparable products gain leverage through combined purchasing power. A GPO is a business created to leverage the purchasing power of a group of businesses towards obtaining discounts from common suppliers based on their collective buying power. For companies using group purchasing organization services or GPO agreements, that leverage generates preferable prices, contract terms, saves time, and frees up internal procurement resources. GPOs also exist to help suppliers. For suppliers, GPO advantages come from having an expanded market share, increased access to industry insights and data, along with better buyer relationships. GPOs are available within multiple industries to maximize niche opportunities. Those industries include hospitality, healthcare, engineering, maintenance, food service, nonprofit orgs, and industrial manufacturing. These specializations are due to the sheer number of small and mid-sized market companies occupying specific sectors. GPOs allow the spending of these companies to combine into purchasing leverage, which increases their buying power. Topic: the main categories of GPOs. There are three main types of GPOs. First is the vertical market. A vertical market GPO is focused on one industry or vertical market. For example, in healthcare markets, there are small and mid-sized hospitals and medical centers joining forces to increase their purchasing volumes and reduce their costs. Second is the horizontal market. Horizontal market GPO members exist in different industries, while typically purchasing same goods, services, and products to operate their businesses or organizations. Lastly, you'll have a master buyer. An MB is defined by a single purchasing organization with established larger contracts for vendors and allowing additional companies to purchase off those contracts. The automotive industry is an example of the master buyer model due to high-level suppliers having access to the pricing contracts of large automotive manufacturers. Topic: organization works. A GPO will develop, create, and manage contracts for services and goods. The GPO will also function as a representative of the buyers to oversee any concerns, questions, or requests to the suppliers. How these GPO services work can be outlined in 3 steps. Step 1. Membership, leverage, and savings grow. These GPOs create a membership base of companies targeting access to a GPO's existing agreements. The combined spending of these companies and the acquisition of multiple customers at one time creates leverage. That leverage is what motivates suppliers to offer their best pricing and service levels to the GPO. Companies have historically used GPOs to gain quick access to cost savings. Although still true, this traditional view of GPOs does not fully recognize the sustainable value that a modern GPO provides. Savings diminish over time, leaving a GPO constantly looking for ways to enhance value through their agreements and supplier performance. Step 2. Better pricing and contract terms are produced. With a pipeline of spending, GPOs are now able to source agreements with the best available suppliers, or those in a position to provide better pricing and agreement terms than existing GPO members can negotiate on their own. Suppliers will often accept reduced margin opportunities because GPO membership reduces costs associated with acquiring new business. The leverage of combined spending impacts the purchase of office products, safety supplies, and other commodities. More robust and diversified GPOs can also increase procurement spending influence in areas like HR services and technology-based departments. This expenditure is often referred to as an indirect expenditure. Indirect spend describes any company expenditures required for running a business, such as office supplies, temporary labor, and industrial supplies, but are not related to a company's products or services. Step 3. Continuous improvement further mitigates risk. As members continue to use GPO agreements, the GPO constantly manages contracts. As more members join and more spend flows through the agreements, these GPOs can negotiate even deeper discounts, improve terms and conditions with suppliers. By this point, the GPO can further mitigate risk and create a path toward continuous improvement by engaging with multiple people at multiple levels throughout supplier organizations. Topic: how is a group purchasing organization funded? GPOs receive funding through different fees such as membership, administrative, or an agreed-upon combining of those primary fees. A membership fee is often structured as a single payment paid at the point of joining a GPO. The fee for membership can also be applied as an annual payment for access to their programs. It's common for GPOs to waive annual membership fees when members have reached predefined spending thresholds. When comparing the benefits to the GPOs, it's understandable to learn suppliers always pay GPO administrative fees. That funding, regardless of whether fees are flat rates or based on the amount of spend passing through the agreement, will receive funding from the suppliers. Topic: Understanding the value of group purchasing organizations. Historically, GPOs are primarily utilized within government, healthcare, and higher education sectors. As one example, according to the Healthcare Supply Chain Association, 96 to 98% of hospitals in the U.S. belong to at least one GPO. GPOs in the healthcare, hospitality, and food service industries have grown substantially, and GPOs are now looking to other industries for potential growth. Regulations are also changing the landscape of the potential use for GPOs, including the new Uniform Guidance Procurement Standards that went into effect in January of 2017. Those standards promote the use of intergovernmental and interagency agreements, which may include the use of group purchasing contracts by the more than 30,000 non-federal entities who receive grants. Question: What's a group purchasing organization? Group purchasing organizations leverage the collective purchasing strength of their members to acquire goods and services at lower prices. GPOs are not resellers, but rather contracted negotiators. Members of the GPO are entitled to purchase through these negotiated contracts. Question: What are the benefits of participating in a GPO? The primary benefit of a GPO is based in members obtaining better pricing on goods and services through increased buying power or leverage. However, lower prices are not the only benefit. GPOs also provide valuable soft cost savings by helping organizations standardize and streamline purchasing practices. Many are also resources for procurement-related consulting and advice. Question: Are GPOs open to everyone? Yes and no. Most GPOs accept all types of organizations, while others choose to focus on the needs of specific industries. Question: What types of products and services are typically offered through a GPO? This varies, but there are typically two common models. Category-focused GPOs will typically offer dozens of categories with varying levels of discounts. These GPOs are built to be everything to everyone. They can include anything from office supplies to hotel and car rentals to software discounts. They're built to have as broad an appeal as possible and are really designed for organizations that do little or no price negotiations on their own. Compared to industry-focused GPOs, which typically offer fewer and more targeted expense categories, these GPOs address the most common purchasing needs of an industry. They offer deep discounts and usually have a much higher adoption rate. That GPO value to members is viewed as a strategic part of purchasing rather than just another discount program. Question: What's the membership cost and obligation? These areas differ depending on GPOs. GPOs require an annual membership fee to participate, as well as an annual commitment for spending. Others charge no fee and require no obligations. Question: How can I be sure a GPO will save my organization money? Tricky. Most category-focused GPOs simply offer a certain percentage off list price. For example, 15% off shipments when you're using FedEx. Calculating your savings here is simple. Just compare your current discount level with what's offered through the GPO and see what's better. Industry-focused GPOs, on the other hand, provide savings in a variety of ways. This can include deeper discounts off list prices, access to a targeted portfolio of highly discounted products or services, and special promotions to members based on meeting collective purchasing volumes. GPOs provide that one-on-one consulting opportunity to help analyze their current pricing and calculate, with real info, the level of savings they can realize. The best way to assess your savings with these GPOs is to work directly with one of their representatives to assess your own unique situation and get a personalized analysis. Question: Should I consider a GPO as part of our organization's overall purchasing strategy? Finding the right GPO to participate can be a challenging component of your overall procurement strategy. You can provide thousands of dollars in savings to your bottom line while smoothing out procurement processes and even addressing unique regulatory requirements by joining a GPO. It's also important to keep in mind all GPOs are not equal. Be certain to complete a full review of available vendors as confirmation they're in correct alignment with your business needs, pricing, and delivery schedules. Topic: Contract analysis. Managing vendors can be a challenging task with procurement professionals facing massive quantities of contracts to manage on a regular basis. As a result, organizing the categories of vendor relationships can prove complex and time-consuming. Procurement professionals are expected to work across departments with a combination of one-time, short-term, and long-term contracts to ensure all obligations are being met. The ownership will always fall to the procurement team. Topic: Contract analysis for vendor management. Although procurement professionals utilize a contract management tool, the manual analysis of the terms within these contracts tend to be complicated. The terms of contracts will cover length and duration, financial obligation commitment, and other service-required benchmarks. As a result, traditional contract management tools may not be robust enough to provide the insight required for procurement professionals. Topic: Contract analysis for compliance. It's important to maintain clear records of terms within third-party vendor contracts. Any misses or oversights can place a business at risk for substantial fines. As a result, procurement professionals must consistently analyze the privacy terms within each contract so that when regulations like these go into effect, they're aware of which contract needs amending. For example, if a vendor agreement allows for the use of consumer data for marketing purposes, it may be in violation if consent hasn't been provided in writing. Topic: Contract statistics for procurement professionals. During an audit, conducted by either in-house management or third-party auditor, the ability to quickly produce vendor statistics is vital. It'll be important to have access to the contract agreements and terms of your key vendors during these audits. The most common contract you'll experience will be straight purchase orders. Since this type of contract acts as an agreement between buyer and seller for an exchange of goods or services, the agreed-upon payment terms must be reflected in reporting. These contracts also protect the seller, which ensures payments are remitted at the correct timelines. The buyer and vendor agree to a total project cost based on the scope of work. This is an example of a fixed-price contract. In this agreement, the contract provides protection for both parties, as the defined work must be completed to trigger payment. Should the buyer add a request outside of the original scope of work, the seller can update the terms and charge accordingly. With a cost-reimbursable contract, the buyer agrees to reimburse the cost of the materials required for the project after completion. These usually take place when the total cost of the project is unknown or difficult to estimate. Without proper contract statistics, departments within a large organization are affected by unexpected payments or mismanaged cash flow. For procurement professionals, utilizing a contract analysis tool that automates the categorization of vendor contracts is an efficient way to simplify the process and track service payments. Remember, your time is valuable and prioritization of all responsibilities will be your calling card. Whether you were listening through headphones, earbuds, or your car speakers, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Now, if you would, go ahead and press that big subscribe button. It really helps me when you do that.